Hello everyone, Ronan here, and today I'm going to be covering the new skills that the warrior has in his arsenal with the new expansion of Final Fantasy Heavensward. Now, I'm going to cover the skills in order that you will receive them. The first skill you are going to receive at 52 is Deliverance. Deliverance is your DPS stance. It will offer you a bonus of 5% more damage and will carry over your stacks that you had from being in Defiance. Infuriate will also give you 5 stacks of Abandon and will allow you to use skills that are for the Deliverance stance that are much like Steel Cyclone and Inner Beast. One thing to note is Defiance now adds to your parry chance, which the tooltip has not been updated. And Deliverance will carry on the 2% crit rate increase per stack. Now, the 5% may not be a big difference, but the fact that you will no longer run out of TP, essentially, unless your skill speed is just ridiculously high, because the same idea as before, now you will have skills you can use every 5 stacks that will allow you to do an attack that costs 0 TP. Now, the second skill you will get is Cleave, and this skill is just amazing. It is so strong. It has a 500 potency attack. It's essentially your Inner Beast, but without the self-healing. But even then, when you have Bloodbath up, this will still heal you for quite a bit. I've already hit, I was level 54, I believe, when I first got it, and I managed to hit for 5400 with it, and it just devastates. It's just amazing. If you play a strength build, and you plan on doing a lot of damage with a warrior class, this skill will allow you to do so. Next, we have Raw Intuition, and right now, the skill that I believe is going to get nerfed is probably going to be Raw Intuition. Raw Intuition, in my opinion, has been overlooked, and right now, let's just describe the skill. So, Raw Intuition, for 20 seconds, you will parry all attacks. Now, before the expansion, I used to parry for 30%. Now, it may go up, but right now, I parry for 20% damage. Now, the trick to this is to line up all the enemies in front of you so that you only get attack from that one enemy. So let's say forward, so you don't get hit from the sides. If you get hit from the sides, it's a guaranteed crit on yourself. Now, if you use this with awareness, you will not get crit and it doesn't matter. So pairing those two skills together is really good. Especially if you're doing like a speed run, then you basically ignore the entire, well, 5 seconds of it will still go through as crits. But the beauty of this skill, and this is why it's probably going to get nerfed. Right now, all of your healer's abilities will also crit. I'm pretty sure regen still crits, but if the biggest issue would be if you have a Scholar, because Scholars got a new ability that allows them to take the Adlo and Eye for an Eye from a target and pass it around to the entire group. Now, why I think this is broken is if a Scholar heals you from your side while you have Raw Intuition up, it will crit you. So because how Adlo works, you get a massive shield. Now also, because you're a warrior, if you plan this out right, you will have Defiance up, which will give you 25% more healing, so that means a 25% bigger shield. Then he can transfer it to the rest of the party. Now, if you time it even better, so let's say you know there's a giant damage mechanic coming, and you just want to cheese it, you're the off tank, move to Defiance, pop Convalescence, now you have just an enormous heal coming in, and then the Scholar can rip it with his skill, and then pass it to the rest of the party. And if this stays like this, which is amazing, but I think it was an oversight, it would guarantee that you would have like probably, I'd say 8 to 10k shield on the entire party. Now, I'm not saying that for the fix that they should make it so that the Adlo cannot crit. I think that maybe not a guaranteed crit, but even then, I think using it in that manner is pretty awesome, because here it says all attacks, so we'll see what they do with it. But It's going to have to get, well, in my opinion, it was not intended to be used in this way, because it makes a huge difference when your healer is just standing behind you and spamming his heals, or even just healing you once and then you're fully healed. He does some DPS, heals you once, you're full. But enough of that. It's just an awesome skill. Let's just leave it at that. And it builds a Wrath stack or Abandon stack. So now you have 3 skills that will allow you to do so, which gives you the ability to do more damage if your defensive cooldowns are not needed. Now, Equilibrium is your 1200 Cure Potency heal. Now, it doesn't specify, but this works the exact same way as Second Wind does. It is affected by your attack power. On the tooltip for Second Wind, it will say that the Cure Potency varies upon your attack power. Now, 1200 is amazing. And it's a 60-second cooldown, so it's really nice. And if you use your Berserk, same idea as with Second Wind, it will actually heal you for more. I confirmed this by putting in some healing gear on my right side, and I actually healed for myself for less. So Strength Pots, Berserk, your Maim will all affect your heal with this. Now, you can only use this heal while you're in Defiance. If you are in Deliverance, you'll regain 200 TP. Now, with how things are right now, you probably won't need the 200 TP, so unless you're spamming Overpower. But I would recommend maybe switching stance, using it if you needed it, and then switching back when you were able to. Decimate. This is basically your Steel Cyclone, but that doesn't generate extra enmity. Decimate does 280 potency attack, whereas Steel Cyclone only does 200, but it also ignores the 25% of the damage penalty from Defiance, which is really good, and it does an insane amount of enmity. So when you're doing off-tank DPS and there's a bunch of adds, why not go this route? But in my experience so far is that adds are generally taken by the off-tank. So for our group's purpose, I'm probably not going to use Decimate all that much. I'm probably going to be going into Defiance and then quickly using Steel Cyclone. Now, if the adds don't hit too hard, then maybe I'll switch back to Deliverance and use Decimate for more damage. But that we'll have to wait and see as we start raiding. The only thing I used to do, and it's going to be different now, and it's not a complaint, is when I was in Defiance, I would take Defiance off, use Fracture, put Defiance back on. Now, you can still do this, but you can't do it if you jump into Deliverance. Because if you switch from Deliverance to Defiance, or Defiance to Deliverance, they share the same cooldown and you have to wait 10 seconds before being able to switch back. Now, it's not a big deal because you can still build up stacks, but if you're main tanking, unless you know you're not taking damage, you will have to do it quite fast. If you still plan on doing Fracture, keep doing some damage, and then eventually you want to be able to use your Inner Beast, so you move back, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue as long as your healers are aware of what you're planning on doing. Well, this was Ronin with my warrior abilities from 50 to 60 within the new expansion, and hopefully this has been helpful for you.